I was accused of harassment. Me.
Even listening to the story that he told, it sounds like he shouldn't have had this conversation with this girl. That's what it sounds like.
I want to talk to a supervisor manager. CEO, I don't give a damn who it is, who is overjourneying. I want this woman fired. Feel ashamed that I was forward around the mall about harassment. I've never, ever harassed anybody.
See? Oh, man. A men's rights activist has been born, y'all. We've been talking. Now, if anybody knows me, you know I'm not a proponent of the police. I'm not a believer in the police and the justice system, anything like that. Not to, I don't want to, I'm not going to go on too deep into that, but I'm not a proponent of the police at all. Yeah, I could go on for days talking about my disillusionment with law enforcement and with the justice system, or the injustice system, as I like to call it. I am definitely a black man in America that recognizes that I am a black man in America. Let me put it like that, right? I'm one of those people. I almost never side with law enforcement or anything like that, right? I need to say all of that before we get into this video, because even the police in the police interaction in the video is very minimal, to be honest with you. But I just wanted to address that first. That just to be clear, like, this is not in defense of law enforcement or anything like that. This is not in defense of this is really not in defense of anybody, to be honest with you. I'm really not defending anybody, but I think that listening to this man's story, you guys will see the things that I saw and why what he did was problematic, but it didn't warrant the response that it got. That's what I mean. That's what I want to say.
My name is Elliot Johnson. I am originally from Little Rock, Arkansas, and 2 days ago, I was hit with a sexual harassment, what they call it? Sexual harassment, what they call it when you get accused? Accusation. I was accused of sexual harassment. Me.
I don't know you. So you saying me as if like that's supposed to be like you, Elliot? I can believe you were accused of it. I can believe anybody was accused of sexual harassment.
I don't even approach women. I don't even talk to folks. And I was hit with sexual harassment. Give you the story, full story. I don't leave out nothing when I tell stories. I'm in journeys. I'm on the phone with my little cousin the entire time. I'm walking and talking. You know how you deep in that conversation. You're just looking around. I'm walking around. I done walked inside the journeys. Young lady walked up to me. I'm on the phone. I looked at her. I'm like, damn, this girl like a kid in here. I said, how old are you? She walked up to me, asked me if I need help. I said, how old are you? She said, I'm grown.
You just said you don't even talk to anybody. You said you don't talk to women. But you just talked to this little, so already off the bat, you're not making no sense. If this is the only time you talk to somebody, it's the only time you've ever talked to somebody, right? That's what I'm supposed to believe. Or when you say I don't ever talk to somebody, and then the first part of your story was you talking to somebody, that it makes it sound like you're trying to downplay your involvement. That's what it sounds like. That's what, just FYI. Again, just not trying to like come after this guy, because I do believe that he did. I do believe when you guys hear it, I don't believe that it warranted this response, but weird. That was weird.
And I looked at her. Hey, you don't look grown. I said, you still in high school? She said, yeah, smiling and all that. And anyway, I'm on the phone. I just leave after that. And I didn't leave because she told me she was still in high school. I left because I was done looking and I was on the phone. You know how it is. You on the phone, somebody have a little side conversation here and then you leave, right? Mind you, That's the only thing I said to her. I didn't ask her what high school she went to. I didn't ask her what grade she was in. Nothing. No other questions was asked. I leave Journeys. I walk around. I'm leaving. I'm finna go to another store. 2, 3 minutes later, I'm approached by a police officer, a real police officer, and I'm approached by the mall security. Said that, did I just go inside of Journeys or why inside of Journeys? I said, yeah. You were accused of sexual harassment. Did you talk to anybody there? I said, yeah, I spoke to a young lady, and I asked her how old she was. She told me she was grown, and I looked at her. I said, you don't look grown. You still in high school? She said, yeah. And I said, I ended up walking out, and I walked out the store. He said, okay, I'll be right back. He walked up to Journeys. This is in Little Rock, Arkansas. True story. He walked up to Journeys. He have a conversation with the girl, I'm sure. I hear him over the intercom call and say, the young lady says he was in the store shopping. He asked her this, and she told him, he asked her if she's still in high school. And when she told him, yeah, he ended up leaving the store. He walked out the store. Nothing else was said. She said that her manager is overreacting and she is not being corroborative. He did not sexually harass her. They started.
Okay. So the way my mind works is when I hear stuff like this, I have to start asking why, right? So the first question that came to my mind was, why would you say that to a girl or a woman? I don't know how old she was, but why would you say that? Why would you ask her how old she was? Like it wasn't just because she looked young, right? It wasn't just that. It couldn't have been. I don't believe that, I should say. It could have been. I don't believe that. I think you were attracted to her, but you thought she looked young and you wanted to, you wanted to see how old she was. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason. And maybe you didn't want to, follow through with it, but it was like, like a light flirt situation. A little bit. That's what I got from it. I wouldn't necessarily deem that to be sexual harassment at all because I don't think he didn't say anything overtly inappropriate, but I do think asking somebody's age is low key inappropriate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what part of the job is you asking me how old I am? Like, that's weird, right? Like, I'm at work, you're asking me how old I am for what reason? Just because you think I'm young, you can just say, oh damn, you look like you're in high school. Like, I don't know. You don't even need to say that. Like, it didn't make the conversation didn't make sense outside of you were attracted to her. That's the only reason it makes sense to me. If you're saying that you a person that claims to never talk to people, right? Never talk to women, in this moment chose to address a girl or a woman's age, and like that was your that was the conversation starter. I'm going to naturally assume you were attracted to her. Naturally. It couldn't have just been she looked, like, damn, there's little kids running around here. Like, for you to be on a phone call, stop a phone call to ask somebody how young or old they are, might be for real, right? Again, I don't think that that's sexual harassment. I do think it is inappropriate, though. I don't think it's enough to get somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll get there. I don't. Yeah. I don't think it's enough to call the police. I don't think, you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not on board with any of that, with none of that. All of that was weird. But you asking her how old she was also is weird, is what I'm trying to bring to light. Right, right.
Started apologizing to me. Immediately started apologizing to me and said that the manager thought she heard something she didn't hear and all that type of shit. And I'm like, all right, cool. You set me here for 30 minutes waiting on you to go have the conversation you need to have or whatever. I'm not sure how long it may not been that long. But whenever you're doing something and somebody interrupt you, you exaggerate the time. To me, it was hours, weeks, days, interrupting my time shopping, my experience, and I know I'm gonna want to go in the mall anymore ever. I know I'm gonna want to go in the mall. I know I'm gonna want to speak to anybody ever. I got accused of sexual harassment. Anyway, my story, and I told the police officer, matched up exactly the story he got from the young lady. And that wasn't enough. This Caucasian young lady, older lady, still come downstairs because they told her, you have to come tell him he's banned from the store. Because I talked to the young lady, I talked to him, they stories match up. You have to tell him why he's banned. This young lady, this older lady, whoever you are, lady, you're wrong. Come downstairs and tell me that this young lady had to tell me 3 times that she was a minor. I just told y'all what happened in the conversation. And she told me I'm banned from all the journeys.
If you listen to your story, she did have to, I don't know if she had to tell you she was a minor, but you did press her about her age twice. Because you asked her how old she was, and she said she was grown. Then you commented on that about, and then you said, well, you look like you're in high school, so you wouldn't just leave it alone right there. Because she obviously didn't want, to me, I would take that as, she doesn't want to have a conversation about her age. You know what I'm saying? But then you said that she was in high school. So I'm not saying that you asked her 3 times. I don't know about all of that. But you definitely like pressed her about her age beyond where I feel like she was comfortable to me. Like again, like you know what I'm saying? Like I want to be clear. Like I'm not here again to absolve the woman who may or may not have falsely accused him, the woman, that he's the manager. I'm not here to be like, maybe she's right or she is right or whatever, but I am here just even listening to the story that he told. It sounds like he shouldn't have had this conversation with this girl. That's what it sounds like. It sounds inappropriate to me. To me, for like a work set, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how you guys feel, but I've never been asked how old I was when I was at work as a man. Or as a boy. I started working when I was in high school. You know, nobody ever was, oh, they got little kids working at the movie theater. How old are you, son? No, nobody ever asked me that. No woman ever asked me that. No man ever asked me that. See what I'm saying? I do think it is a little, it's a little weird. It's a little weird. That's all I'm saying. He's young too. He's obviously in his 20s. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, it was weird. It was weird, bro.
Kid journeys. And I'm talking about even after the conversation I've had with the police officer, the conversation the police officer had with the young lady, we're cooperating. This lady still tell me that I am banned. And she go on the phone and call another place and say that, okay, since he banned from this store, is he banned from your store as well? Yeah. They banned me from journeys. I want to talk to a supervisor manager. Still, I don't give a damn who it is, who is over journeys. I want this woman fired. I want this woman fired. I am embarrassed.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he deserved all of that. See what I'm saying? I think there's a line that needs to be drawn. I don't think he deserved it, all of that. I think that woman, if she felt uncomfortable, the manager overhearing that conversation, she could have just stepped in and been like, "Oh, I really appreciate you coming in today. Is there anything I can help you with?" You know, or just told him straight out, like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, sir. We don't, there's really no need for that type of conversation. Asking a young girl how old she is at work. I don't think that you know what I'm saying. I don't think that's appropriate, an inappropriate conversation to be having with a young girl that's at work or a young woman that's at work. Is there anything I can help you with?" Just like that, and then let him react to that. Now, if he would have got all uppy and puppy, I was just, being like that, like how you being right now. Then, okay, now, hey, okay, I hear you. De-escalate the situation, get him out the store, then tell the police, like, hey, I just asked that boy to not talk to the workers like that. They can help him with the thing with the sale or whatever, but what does her age have to do with her helping him? You know what I mean? But again, that's inappropriate. That's what I'm saying. It has nothing to do with anything. She's at work. You know what I mean? Like I just don't work. It's crazy. I don't understand it. I don't know. I would never think to ask somebody at work how old they are. That's weird.
Feel ashamed that I was followed around the mall about sexual harassment. I've never, ever harassed anybody. And to sexually harass somebody or claim that that's what happened, that's fucking wrong. My name is Elliot Johnson. My name will never be attached to anything like this ever. I refuse to be okay with this. I sat on this for 2 days, y'all. 2 or 3 days I've been sitting on this. How should I approach this? Who should I call? Is this even worth telling anybody? And now it is. For all the men out there that are accused of things that they did not do, I am doing this for you. I need a lawyer. If there's any
See? Oh man. A men's rights activist has been born, y'all. You just saw it. You lost me, man. I was riding with you. I was riding with you as far as, again, I'm separating what the woman did from what he did. I think that everything that woman did was wrong. The police didn't do anything wrong. They just did their job and they let it go like they should have. I think the woman, the manager, I think she did a terrible job. I do think journeys should be, I think corporate should be brought in. I don't know about her getting fired. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. I do think that. But this shit right here, you tripping. You got too much dip on your chip now, son.
for all the men out there that are accused of things that they did not do, I am doing this for you. I need a lawyer. If there's anybody in Little Rock, Arkansas, I was in Park Plaza Mall, accused of sexual harassment, and I got banned from Journeys. Journeys, speak up. Roll the cameras back. The officer had a camera on this thing. Roll it back. Look at the video. I don't lie to folks. I don't lie about anything I do. Because I don't need to try to remember a lie. I'll tell the truth so I know I can remember it. I tell the truth so I know I can remember it.
You did kind of lie at the beginning of the video. You said you don't ever talk to anybody, and then you said that you talked to this young girl. So, I definitely don't think you. I think you do kind of lie. Maybe I'm being too literate though. But I mean, when you say I don't ever lie, and you say I don't ever talk to people, those are conflicting statements. That's all I'm saying.
I tell the truth so I know I can remember it. I need justice. I need justice. I am afraid to go anywhere. I am afraid to go in any type of mall and have a conversation with anybody. This can happen just like that. Even with the evidence, you still ban me from a journey. You ban me. Even if I say what happened, the young lady say what happened, you still say that's not enough. You broke my heart. I trusted you. I trusted anybody that listened to the evidence and then come to a conclusion. Even after that, it wasn't enough for you. You still did me like that. I'm a man. I got daughters. I've never harassed anybody, and I would never ever sexually harass anybody ever. Disrespect anybody. You broke my heart. I'm hurt by this. I need justice. I need justice now. If there's a lawyer out there that want to take this on, please help me. My heart is broken. I am afraid to go anywhere.
Um, brother, the best advice I can give you is get educated on the likelihood that you're going to be falsely accused, first and foremost. And secondly, even everything that you're, going through right now, which I do feel bad for you, definitely. It's really not, I don't know how to say it, but I mean, like, you got banned from Journeys. I know somebody that like accidentally, like, something like fell in her purse, and she what I'm saying, she paid for a bunch of shit like a lip gloss or something, fell in her purse at Walmart, and they like the Walmart police like caught her and was like, "You're stealing it." She was like, "I wasn't stealing it. It accidentally fell in my purse." And they were just like, "All right, you're banned from all Walmarts." You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a non-black woman. It's a non-black woman. So race wasn't the issue. In this thing, I think race and gender might have played a role, but race more than anything. I think it's more of a racial thing than a gender thing. But anyways, yeah. I mean, it sucks, but I mean, you got banned from Journey. Journey, who cares? But lastly, there is a little update to this. I read the comments, and Journey's responded in his comments, and like Journey's corporate or whatever, the Journey's TikTok account, they responded, and they were like, "I'm gonna." Basically, they were like, "We're gonna look into this." And I was like, "Cool, that's cool. That's smart of them." Because he was crying out for the social justice warriors. He was crying out for the men's rights activists to get involved. And they didn't want that. So they're smart. They're smart for doing that. You know what I mean? Give them a pair of Timbs or some Doc Martens or some shit like that. And let them go back in the let them do $1,000 shopping spree in that Journeys and make that woman be there to open up the store for him and let him do it in the morning time. I don't fucking know. Save yourself the trouble. It ain't worth it. Right. But yeah, like I said, I don't like I see his frustration. I see why he's upset and all of that stuff. Um, but yeah, he made some mistakes. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say to him. He made some mistakes.